Hi guys, so I just want to come on and do a quick little video about wax shots or any type of little wax tarts or things like that that would go into the wax warmers. So I was just in the middle of creating these two little ones here. They're about an ounce. They come in these little cups with lids on them. These little lids right here. And then you would just simply put your label right on top there or on the bottom, whatever you'd want to do. They're really quick to create, so I figured I'd come on and show you guys a few. Now these are a couple of the different ideas that you can do. You can also do embeds. You would scent the embed if it's a big enough size, as well as the wax. So there's little ideas like this. This one's scented in Love Spell. I do want to note that you want to consider the size of your embed, because as you can see with this one, it sticks out slightly, so your top can't fit on. So I had to actually bag these. So I would have been better off just putting a little bit less of the mix in the bottom so that embed fit in nice and flush to the rim of the little container. So there's ideas like that. You could also do little ideas where like the little donuts kind of thing, so those fit in really nicely. These are scented in the birthday cake, so if you've got a little metal mold, you can use those. I also did something along these lines where they're little bars kind of thing. So this is an ounce. I put the whole thing in my wax melter. My wax melter is a bigger one, so I'm able to use the whole thing, but this is the same idea. I used the little mold that I made in the summertime with the cornstarch and the silicone. So those are the little, I used Cheerios, but they're for Fruit Loops kind of thing. So it looks like the Fruit Loops are in like milk. So that's really, really cool. And then there's also bark, or brittle. So these are little pieces. So I can also show you guys how to do this if you're interested. Leave comments below just to let me know if anybody wanted to see either this or any of the other options. So we're just going to stick with simple ones for this time of year, just because I'm a little bit more limited on time. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start with a really good wax. So I use a wax blend that's purposely for wax tarts and stuff like that. It will contract in containers, so it'll make it easier to pop them out. And there's no frosting that should happen. Really good scent throw. And so I just go online to whatever company that I order wax from and just read through them, and you'll see what they recommend and don't recommend. So I have that, and then I have my colorant in there. So you can use liquid colorant, you can use like little blocks like this. This is what I tend to use. But any kind of wax colorant that you want to use, you do that. So you're going to put that in there. Now, the ratio that I use is every 16 ounces of liquid, so the soy wax melted, I put 1 ounce of fragrance. So I don't have quite 16 ounces of liquids that are coming out for these containers, so I had to change my calculations. But yeah, so you would put your colorant in as soon as you poured your the amount that you would need. You let that melt, and then it's given it time to kind of cool down a little bit. So that's when you add your fragrance. You don't add it right away because you don't want to burn your fragrance. So that's what you're gonna wait for, and then you have to stir. You have to stir for a good 2 to 3 minutes, constantly stirring. So you want to mix the oil and the wax together really, really well. So you're just gonna keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Now I have already stirred mine for a little while. Plus with talking and stuff, it's had time to kind of settle together. Now is the fun part. So you're just going to pour. Now you can use a scale and measure. There's these little lines though on them, and I don't think you guys can see. Possibly like right here. I go just a little bit below, and that's what gives me an ounce. So I just follow that. I've been doing them often enough that I know that that's where I have to pour up to. So another good tip is to add about 0.5 to maybe 0.8, almost a whole other ounce of soya, because as you're pouring, the wax is solidifying on the edge of your container, right? So you're actually kind of not wasting, but just some of it is not staying melted. So you're gonna end up short by the end. So I always recommend to add, you know, even if it's another ounce, you're not gonna hurt anybody. And you can just top off the extra little bit onto the other ones. But that's just gonna help you ensure that you have enough to pour for all of your containers. Instead of, you know, if I was short and I didn't have enough, then I'd have to remelt and try and get the same color as this and all that for one container. So if you just add an extra ounce, then you're good. And I've added about an extra ounce, and I still have just to say a little bit left. So I'm just going to pour just a little bit into, because I'm pouring it by eye, I can see there's just a few that are, you know, a little bit less. So I'm just going to kind of share the love and pour until there's none left. You want to pour at a state where it is warm enough, because like these ones here, you can see there's like bubbles and a little bit of like frosting looking kind of on top. It's because I poured when it was just a little bit too cool. I was kind of just rushing, and whereas I had to re-warm up a little bit of the last one, and it poured more smoothly, even this one compared to that. So just remember to pour, if you're pouring and it's making bubbles and like foam on top, stop, pour that back in your container and remelt. Just a couple seconds, 5-10 seconds. You're not going to burn your fragrance doing that. Just don't do it for too long. So basically that's what you're going to do. And then you can, if you're wanting to put some toppings on it, you're going to have to wait a little bit. So you're going to have to wait till there's a little bit of a crust to then put, you know, either your little sprinkles or your glitter. Even like these little pieces here, you have to wait until there's a little bit of a crust to be able to hold on to it, because if you don't, for one, they'll just sink to the bottom. And if you wait too long, some of the pieces won't actually stay. So what I tend to do afterwards for something like this, I'd go over and just kind of tap it lightly with my finger. Some of it will still obviously come apart, but I mean, even for the lips, it actually like started melting it a little bit, but I just kind of waited. You put it on top and then it'll stick together. So yeah, I'm just gonna basically wait a few minutes. I'm gonna cut the video, but I'm just gonna wait a few minutes, and you just sprinkle your stuff on top and you're done. And then you just have to do your labels and put them together. You can sell them as packages. So I really like selling them like 5 for, you know, whatever price, or 10, and do like little sample packs kind of thing of, you know, whatever, fruity sample pack or stuff like that. They sell really, really good at Christmas time as the little sample packs. To give as gifts and stuff, so that's always an option. But that's basically all you have to do. So like I said earlier, if anybody wants to see videos on how I do some of the other ones, let me know. I can definitely come on and do some little explanations for that. But other than that, that's all there is to it. So I hope that helped out anybody who is having, you know, some difficulties trying to figure stuff out. And like I said, again, if there's any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.